Hello, welcome to Gers TV. My name's Si Leslie.
My name's Lewis Miller.
Sorry, catch my breath. And I'm Gordon. Hello.
Loads to talk about tonight, guys. I'll not be on the show. I'm going to be doing the PC editing and the video stuff tonight, so you won't see me, but unfortunately you will still hear me. Before I start tonight, we're going to speak about a lot of things with Rangers, but everyone knows the big story today is the Rangers annual accounts have just been released today, and I'm going to read the statement from the club, and that gives us a wee opportunity to talk about them, the game on Sunday and the big game tomorrow night. Rangers International Football Club PLC Annual Report 2024. Key highlights include the record core revenue of 88.3 million, record total income of 94.2 million, record commercial revenue 67 million, double digit growth, costs increased, managed to 1%, pre-player trading loss reduced to 2 million, down from 10.5 million in 2022-23 season. Club free of any litigation claims for the first time in over a decade following the settlement. The interim chairman John Gilligan commented, "Undoubtedly it has been a challenging period for our club, with a significant change occurring both on and off the park throughout both seasons 2023 and 4. Over the summer months, as part of the changes, John Bennett stepped away as his role as chairman in order to focus on his health. John remains a supportive shareholder and investor of the club, and I'd like to place on record my thanks for the leadership, both as a chairman and director over the last 9 years. We look forward to welcoming you back to Ibrox." In addition, we have a number of changes in senior leadership positions, with CEO James Bisgrove departing to join Al Qased in the Saudi Premier League, and Craig Robertson recently departing as our Director of Football Operations. We wish both James and Craig all the best in their future careers and thank them for their efforts with the football club. Whilst we continue to search for our outstanding candidate of CEO position, we retain a strong executive team with the football club led by our Financial Officer James Taylor, Chief Commercial Officer Karim Farani, and our Director of Recruitment Nils Coppin. All three were recruited in the period under review, and as you can see from underlying performances, there has been a significant steps in short-term period in delivering against our strategy. The challenges encountered with the redevelopment of the Copeland Road have been well documented. As a board, we once again apologise to our supporters for the inconvenience caused by the delays in returning to our home. The support received at Hampden was outstanding, and it epitomised the links that our great club have with our supporters. I'd once again like to place on record my thanks to the SFA, SPFL and UEFA for understanding and support throughout this period. Lastly, with the Copeland Road stand complete, we are extremely proud of the work undertaken to upgrade and improve the facilities of our disabled supporters. We truly are now some of the best facilities in Europe, and are evidence of the board's commitment to modernise and improve Ibrox to the wider campus. That was a statement by Chairman John Gilligan today, guys. I'll let you quickly chat about it. I think the big story is the actual finances of the club.
Well, first of all, well done for getting through that there without too much of your breath.
Need a drink.
That was good.
Need a drink.
So, couple of headlines striking out for me there. I thought it was very, very surreal and unreal that the board have actually shut off that it's the first time there's been no litigation for 10 years. Doesn't bode. It's not done well for our finances for the last 10 years to be constantly caught up in courtroom battles, etc., with different organisations and groups. So at least that's something. But correct me if I'm wrong, but the headline figure is basically a 17 million loss,
which isn't really commented on the statement.
Yeah. So that's obviously not a good financial position to be in, is it, Lewis?
No, not really. To be honest, I don't have much of a clue when it comes to sort of the behind the scenes, the financial sides of it.
Stop! You could probably get a job at you probably get a job on the board then.
Sounds about right. Ultimately, that kind of loss, Gordy, means that the manager suffers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. It impacts absolutely everything. It impacts even impacts things like the scouting budget, impacts the medical budget, impacts the recruitment budget, the wage budget. So everything's impacted from top to bottom, unfortunately. And I believe that in the last set of accounts there was a very, very small profit of about 200k. I could be wrong on that. If I am, please somebody point it out. So over the last kind of 12 months or so, the last period anyway for these accounts, that's a net loss of 17.2 million, which can be accounted for litigation, it can be accounted for sacking Michael Beale and his management team, and it can be accounted for releasing valuable players and free transfers.
Also, I would point out that would mean that kind of loss of money and the current state the club's in. The chat that we had last week was that we might not be able to afford to sack the manager and we might not be able to afford not to. Where does that put us?
I don't know, it puts us into a bit of a sticky situation, because obviously on the park the results aren't, well, the last couple of games we've gotten a couple of good results, but to be honest they've not been the greatest of performances bar Thursday night, which, albeit they had a few players out rested or suspended or injured or whatever, so we need to kind of take that with a pinch of salt. But no, I think it all comes down to tomorrow night away to Pittodrie in terms of the manager.
How do you sack a manager when you've not got any money to sack him?
I disagree with that, Lewis. Only, and this is, I can't believe I'm actually saying these words, but we spoke about it before the show. The only reason Clement will keep his job is because we literally can't afford to sack him. We gave him, and I believe the rest of his management coaching team, a year's extension in the summer, and it will cost millions and millions of pounds to sack him and his team.
Yeah.
And how do you sack a manager when you haven't got a CEO in place? How do you sack a manager if you haven't got a chief executive in place? How do you actually recruit a new manager?
I was going to say that. How do you pick a manager? Because then they're going to get the blame if it goes wrong, because they shouldn't be picking a manager.
Yeah, so it's an awful situation to be in, and you know, I was backing Clement side, we've probably had some small scale arguments about Clement in the last couple of months. I was backing him, and I feel a bit silly because I've went back and watched some of the games, and I've went back and watched some of these press conferences, and it's almost as if there's a different reality.
Yeah.
He said on Sunday that we played really well against St Mirren. St Mirren were the better team for the entire first half.
I think his biggest problem that he's got is the fans are not even listening to him anymore.
Yes, I mean, and he in the summer he was saying about how, you know, judge me in October. Now October's almost come to an end. It's now another couple of months later. We've got to judge him and his team. And some of the stuff coming out of Fireboots right now. You know, there's some rumours that the players are just biding their time until a new manager comes in, etc.
Yeah.
It's not. It's baffling that we've allowed ourselves into this situation, and it's a surreal situation where we, you know, without being negative or defeatist, there's every possibility we could end up 9 points behind second place after 10 games tomorrow night, and we're not in a position where we can sack the manager.
Yeah. Well, I'll touch back on what you were saying with Clement, saying that you'll see the best Rangers team in October, November. This is arguably one of the worst teams that we've seen in the last possibly year or so at Rangers, especially under Philip Clement, and he's still using the excuse of players settling in after him saying you'll see the best Rangers in October, November when the players have settled in, and he's still using that same excuse when he came out and said the 7 new players who only just came in the door a few months ago. It started against St Mirren, and personally I think he's just coming out with too many excuses, and I don't think that's the mentality of a Rangers manager, never mind a leader.
So we're going to go talk about the football in a minute. Is there anything in the accounts or statement tonight that excites you or makes you happy?
Well, I mean, we're still going, I guess. So, no, it's an incredible situation. I mean, if you read, I've watched interviews. Brian Taylor, I think his name is, one of the chief financial guys at Rangers, gave an interview to Rangers TV for 7-8 minutes a statement. If you read the statement and you watch interviews, you were thinking that we were top of the league, in the Champions League, and, you know, for want of a better expression, crapping money all over the place. We do seem to, we have made some money. The commercial, you know, everything's up, but at the same time, we're just hemorrhaging money right, left and centre. We're buying players that don't play, that get injured and don't play. We're recruiting managers that we let go after 12 months, and then we give extended contracts to managers that probably don't deserve them. So it's, you can make as much money as you like, but if you're squandering it right, left and centre, then, you know, we've really only got ourselves to blame. And I don't know. I just don't know at this moment in time. That's the worst situation to be in.
I think, to be fair, I don't think we can really blame the manager for not knowing if we don't know either. So,
But I was thinking, I've been one of Clement's, I don't know, I couldn't tell you I'm one of his biggest backers, but certainly through the last couple of weeks, I've backed him, and I looked at these transfers, and he spent money.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we have spent, we paid $1.5 million for Chelsea's loan, apparently. We've paid $4 million for Barami, who's playing out of position still. We brought a defender that can't defend, it seems like. We've got strikers that can't. I think in the last 7 games, our 2 strikers have scored 1 goal between them.
Of all the players that were brought in, has any of the players that have came in been a better player for the replacement?
Barron.
One player.
Yeah, and that sums it up, mate. You're absolutely right, and I feel a bit silly for actually investing so much energy in defending Clement. To be honest, like, we've had this conversation. I've been annoyed with all the stuff I've read on social media, but now I was actually only doing the Gers TV show a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about Clement's first year. That I actually realised that we're no further forward, and it's hard to see the silver lining at this moment in time. It's really hard to see the silver lining.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with you there. There's not many positives when you look at Rangers, lately, especially with Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. But as much as we got the 3 points, I mean, the performance wasn't great. I think every single Rangers fan can agree with that.
Just touching back on the accounts, I mean, I suppose one of the biggest things is that we're not in court this season.
That's the first time in 10 seasons so far that litigation's finished.
That's incredible.
The fans don't want to read that, to be honest, but I suppose it is good news.
They were showing off about it. They were saying it's a good thing. So it's absolutely incredible. But, you know, fair play to some of the people behind the scenes. Revenues are up, commercial revenues are up, and I think we've got record incomings, which is of course positive. But if we're bringing in £90 million, to make a £17 million loss on revenues of £92 million, that means you need to that means your expenditure has to be about £109 million. And our expenditure is £109 million, and we're just coming through against St Mirren at home.
Crazy numbers. And you know, I've got to give St Mirren their due. As much as we should be beating a team like St Mirren by a good 2 goals, but you know what, St Mirren came out, and I've got to give them their due. They came out and played well. You'd think a team like that would usually sit back and sort of let us come at them, sort of put 10 men behind the ball, but you know what, they came out aggressive and they played well. But yeah, there's still no excuse for the poor performance.
Let's talk about the match. Wasn't it the greatest of matches, but we got to win.
Okay, let's move on then. Let's move on to the weather.
I think it was a game of 2 halves, to be fair, because the first half couldn't get any worse. Oh well, we prayed it couldn't get any worse. But in the second half, I thought we were average, and I thought Raskin had a great game. Other than that, there was no great. There was very little entertainment, and what worried me, and I don't know if he's noticed this, but see when St Mirren equalised, there wasn't even a big reaction for the fans. It's almost as if they were done in, mate.
It was almost like it was unmuted, like it was expected or something. Crazy. I mean, it's getting to the stage where we're playing against it. You're right, mate. It's hard to add to that or take it out of that, because first half we were, you know, we're second best. We're at home against St Mirren. We're second best at home. Mm-hmm. It's not a good situation to be in. Fair play, second half, we did create a few more chances and probably shaded the second half, but then St Mirren could easily have scored, and if you look back at that challenge by Casemiro, they could have had a penalty in the last tick of the ball, really. So, I mean, what do you say?
To be honest, there's not much to say. I was at a game, I was basically right. The penalty incident, controversial penalty incident, was right in front of me. Personally, I thought the referee would have taken it to VAR and given a penalty. I thought it was a penalty from where I was sat, but I don't know about any other fans who had seen it on the telly or who were sat elsewhere or whatever, but personally I thought it was a penalty. Yeah,
I mean, you're right, if you look back on it, it looked like a penalty to me. It's one, you know, you can't be a hypocrite when you do these kind of shows and podcasts. If you're crying out for a penalty at one end, if it happened to us,
then you
have to kind of accept that, you know, it would be, we kind of got off, we got away with one for all intents and purposes. which is good. But you know, if someone get that penalty and score it, you're looking at losing against Kilmarnock away, drawing against St Mirren at home, and then who knows what will happen tomorrow night. It's Clemont's at this moment in time, Clemont's very lucky.
So something that I hate doing shows and repeating myself, right? But for the last 6 months, we're doing shows and repeating myself, right? That's a fact. Why do we keep playing the ball back to the goalkeeper in bad situations? I don't get it.
If you've watched Rangers, it seems like their first instinct is to turn back, and yeah, you're absolutely right to highlight that. Back to the goalkeeper, it puts the keeper under pressure, especially teams that might play a pressing game against us. That'll probably happen tomorrow night actually as well. You'll probably see Aberdeen playing with a couple of forwards and they'll be right on top of our defence.
Yep, I think they will.
But if you look at Rangers, especially in the first half of games or periods where we don't create much, it's because even when we get the balls out in the wing, we run forward for maybe 10-15 yards, then we turn back and pass the ball back again.
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 1 back.
And so you're right. I believe you're talking about putting Butland under pressure, but that specifically though, that'd be right.
Putting Butland under pressure first of all, but also my concern is somebody must be telling him to do it because it's constant. So it must be the manager.
Yeah, either I don't know, maybe.
It's got to be the manager really, because either that are going against the manager's wishes, but it's constant.
Yeah, unless it's just a confidence issue where they just don't have the confidence to beat the man and then pass the ball forward. Maybe it's a kind of safety thing, like a subconscious safety.
Well, I'll put this to you. The best defender at our club is 37 years old and can't play for about 90 minutes. Yeah. Tell me if you think if you disagree.
I want to. I feel as if I want to and I have to, but I can't. Like it's
that's
crazy.
The problem. And here's another problem. See, if Balogun has a bad game, I'm not even going to swear, but we're Donald ducked.
If you look at, Suter was out muscled and bullied for Kilmarnock's goal. Last weekend and the weekend before, sorry, and then Proper was bullied out muscled the whole game against St Mirren, and then you look at it and you go, well, these guys, these international guys. Suter's an international defender. I didn't watch the game, but apparently Suter marked Ronaldo out the game.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Suter had a stormer in a game the week before. So why? Nobody seems to know.
There's just a frailty, about Rangers at the moment where it's even it's affecting Butland, it's affecting the back line. It's the only person that doesn't seem to be affecting is Barron because he's just full of energy. It's affecting the wingers as well. Czerny's still a little bit. Czerny's come on to good form the last couple of weeks, but he still sees a little bit defensive minded. I think they're afraid of making a mistake as well. I don't know. Terrifying. I can't put my finger on it.
Aye, no, it seems to be. I think it's the Ibrox Craig factor. They've made Butland the vice captain now, but it looks like he'll be the captain most weeks if they don't play Tavernier. I don't know what's going to happen there, but the question is could Tavernier be a good impact sub? Because I thought he had no bad game when he came on in the right position.
Yeah, I think Tavernier actually had an alright game. I thought he played quite well against Bucharest as well on Thursday night. Like if the manager came out and made a statement before the game about like we dropping Dessers, dropping Tavernier, and you could argue whether it worked or whether it didn't. But
when did he change? When did he change? So I don't think the fans mind if he change. If you get it wrong and he's changing for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. But we weren't changing. I think that's what's frustrated people the most.
Yeah, it's just the same stuff all over again, basically.
Yeah, but you big one Tav, I think he played for the last half an hour or so, and we seem to settle defensively a little bit, and we seem to gain a bit more confidence. So, is there something there? Do we actually do we criticise Tavernier too quickly? Then sometimes when if he does that for the team, I don't know. I just don't know.
It's a strange one because I actually think that when Tavernier came on, we became a better team. But we were crying out. Everybody was crying out for him to get dropped. So to me, that's an impact sub.
Yeah, and then for Dessers, going through a bar and run a form. He had a good start of the season, scored a few goals, but he's kind of missed a lot. He's missed a few chances in recent weeks, and he's not scored in 4 or 5 weeks. Off the top of my head, I can't mind his last goal.
Yeah, but at the start of the season, I thought Dessers was finally going to hit the ground running because he'd got himself in a wee bit of form, scored a couple of goals, but I don't know what it's all about. He seems to just throw himself on the ground and whine at the referee last few games I've found. And
frustration.
Aye. frustration. To be fair, some of the decisions that aren't given against them and against the opposition are poor, but it just seems to throw himself on the ground, doesn't get it back up, just moans about it a bit. That's how I find it.
Well, one thing I will say, I think the social media is terrible the way they criticise the guy. Times he was getting pelters after the game, and I actually thought he won the game for us.
Yeah, he's come on and had an impact, and he's had a good run down the left. You know, he's kind of bullied the St Mirren defenders, put the ball across the box for Cherny, and Cherny's finished it. So he's made a contribution,
And then get slaughtered for it.
aye, which is I just think it sums up the way Rangers are at the moment. We're trying to look for explanations, but I can't find an explanation of what's going on.
I do think you need to give some credit to St Mirren. I thought St Mirren played really well. The boy, I can't remember the guy's name, the boy up front was fantastic for them.
To Yossi Olisanya.
That's easy for you to say.
That sounds like an Italian meal.
Is that his name, or did you just make it up?
If you made it up, well played.
It's the confidence in what he said, and he played great, I thought, the boy. And the problem is that I've been talking about this high block defence for a long time. St Mirren know, all the teams know it. Aberdeen will know it tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, we don't, in the last kind of 3 or 4 seasons, even since, Gers come in, we've not had a great record at the best of times as it is. Maybe 1 win out of 7 or 8, a couple of draws, a couple of defeats. It's not great at all.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of confidence at this moment in time. We're not scoring goals away from home. I think the best that manager's hoping for right now is a draw, to be fair, and that's horrible.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've spoken to a couple of folk, and people have been saying that they'd be happy to take a draw with Pittodrie, and to be honest, with our current form, the current state that our club's in, well, not a state, but the form that we're in, you would take a draw, especially the form that both teams are in, especially with Aberdeen are joint top of the league.
You can also argue that on paper, if it was not played in paper, Rangers are the favourites before going into the game, which I was surprised at. I'm not a gambling man, but Rangers are the favourites. In my opinion, Rangers have a far better team in general than Aberdeen. So why should we not be getting into it looking to win?
I agree with you.
I really agree with that as well, 100%. It's but that goes back, and as I say,
by the way, this is Iron Brew. I'm drinking no double whiskies when I said that.
I was going to say, you're on that Kimberley gin. So, look, it comes to the manager. I watched the manager's press conference today, and he was saying about how great Aberdeen have done, and how much would they be going to show respect to them, etc. For me, that's not a Rangers manager that's confident to go out there and get a 2 or 3-0 win. There's no reason why we shouldn't be got to Pittodrie full of confidence.
I agree with you.
But if you look at games in isolation, going to Tynecastle and getting a draw in isolation, going to Pittodrie getting a draw in isolation are not terrible results, or as you said, like on paper. But a draw doesn't do us any good right now because we could be. Even if we get a draw tomorrow night, Celtic win at home against Dundee, we're 8 points behind after 10 games.
I think Rangers need to win tomorrow night no matter what, and I don't care if we win ugly. We just need to win.
Yeah. Right, but get Scott Arfield on for the last 5 minutes again.
Aye.
I was actually going to say, that was the last time that we'd won at Pittodrie.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, the last time we won at Pittodrie was that 3-2 game where Scott Arfield scored the 2 in the 3 minutes at the end of the game.
It's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, see all the players that are struggling, they all need to come out their shell.
Yeah.
You can't have this settling in. See this, the manager saying it's a settling in period, they've only played 7 games, 8 games. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody.
They're international players. There's guys like Barami who's played at the highest level. Say that he's played at Albania, but he's played at the Euros and whatnot. He scored against Italy in the first 14 seconds of a game. That's not a bit in period. And then you've got Cherny who's played in Bundesliga, played international games as well, played at the Euros as well. You've got a guy proper that's been captain a good Dutch team for 8 years.
Who looks terrified?
Who you're right. Who looks terrified. And then you've got Tav, who's our captain, who's used to going up there. And then you've got a midfielder, obviously Conor Barron. I don't know if he'll play Conor Barron tomorrow night. He probably will. But interested to see how he reacts to it. I agree with you. I think individually we've got some good players. We're just not
as
clicking.
A team effort, we need to click by tomorrow night. I'll give you a couple of minutes break, guys. I'm going to do some comments. But I've not got the specs. They're not going to so this is from Chris Sharp. The old carrot in front of the donkey routine of Clement. As for the board using UEFA spending limits, that doesn't stop us getting fresh investment and increasing capacity too. Trouble is, Parks isn't going to let us go. I agree with that. We're like kidnapped folk held in the tunnels, waiting for Dave King and others to rescue us from those inept and bottom-feeling capitalists. So I've got to watch what I'm reading these out in case it says anything offensive before I get to it. Mark Aiken says we need to put up food, drink, cover, loss budget. Okay, good point. Alex Kelly, big rant here, but it is interesting. Clermont and Coppin spoke to 62 players in the summer, but couldn't get any players in until we moved players out. I've never known a Rangers manager to operate under those constraints. We couldn't do most of our recruitment until the final week of the transfer windows. Most of the targets have already joined other clubs. Players dug their heels in. Rangers have had to give them a payoff to rip up their contracts. Ross Wilson, Stuart Robertson, James Bisgrove, Douglas Park and Michael Beale are the main culprits in this fiasco. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I totally agree with what you're saying there, Alex. But what I would say is how much rope do you then give for Clermont in this situation? You know, how bad does it have to get before you start going, well, you know, we can't keep blaming the people that were there 6 months ago. We can't keep blaming the people that were in charge a year ago. At what point is a tipping point for this season when you say, well, do you know what, Clermont's had some money to spend? I think we spent upwards of 12 to 13 million pounds.
They must still be the second highest spenders in the league.
Yeah, far away, you know. And you look at a guy like, you know, Jimmy Thielines came into Aberdeen, and you know, I don't think for 1 second Aberdeen will mount a title challenge this season. I don't think for 1 second because they don't have a big enough squad. You know, when injuries, suspensions start to take into account, but he's only had a few weeks to work with there. He's not had millions of pounds to spend. He's not had months and months. He's not had the season. You know, last season he worked with the club, but he's producing results. So
he's also got a fight. He's got a lot of fight. He has players seem to be fighting for him.
Yeah, you look at. You know, I didn't watch the game, but I've seen some highlights because obviously doing research for the shows and whatnot. You know, the Aberdeen players putting their bodies in the line at Parkhead in the last 5 minutes. You know, the 20 minutes injury time as well.
So good point here. I'm going to read it. Alex Kelly again. Aberdeen have won six goals from their first 9 games by a single. I think that's meant to be games. Aberdeen have won 6 games from their first 9 games by a single goal. Many of those games, they've not been the better team. We should not fear Aberdeen at all. Embrace the challenge. Fill the jerseys. We have a very young squad now. Do we have a young squad? I know we've lowered the age range, but we've still got a lot of experienced players.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, when we get comments in, I try and before I answer, I try and think, you know, either side of the argument and what side to come down on. You're making a point there, Alex, that yeah, we do have a couple of inexperienced players, but the spine of our team isn't that young. We've got Butland, Proper, Suter, Tavernier. They're, you know, late 20s, early 30s now. Dessers is not a young guy. Cherney and Benami are not young guys. I think Yefty and Barron, yes, and perhaps Diamandi's 24, 25. We're not playing a bunch of 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds.
No.
Do you know what? Yeah, the average age has come down in the squad. That's mostly because we've let go of Kemar, Ruth, Ryan Jack, etc.
Yeah.
But Alex, the other point Alex making there, yeah, I don't think Aberdeen are a particularly great team. I've not seen much of them, to be honest, but they're getting results, and that counts for a lot. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they win 1-0 or 2-0. It's still they'll get the points. They're
finding a way to win. Big shout out to Tommy McLean. Hello team. Tony Cassidy says bring on the sheep. Well,
I hope that's not a personal issue. I don't know if he's talking about. Hopefully he's talking about the game tomorrow and know what he's up to tonight. Just to be, I just pop in and say a message to Sandra. Sandra, hope you're keeping well. Yeah. And yeah, disagree with any of those points there, Lewis?
I agree with you. We shouldn't be going into a game against Aberdeen, especially away from home, fearing it. But looking at where we are in the league, looking at the consequences of if we do drop points or even lose, you kind of have to go into it with a little bit of fear, because we could be 9 points behind tomorrow, behind Aberdeen.
Yeah, and that'll take us into this point with Alex Keller. Just to read it out quickly for Alex. Most managers would run a mile. Would run a mile. Sorry, from Rangers weren't under those constraints. Clermont, Coppin, Gilligan and Letham are trying to fix the mess left behind them. Be fair to them, please, guys. Yeah,
I think the fans have been fair.
I totally see that point, and Simon, agree with this. I've been defending Clement for the last, up until the last week or so. I've been saying these exact same points, but I guess the question is, at what point do you start to say, well, hold on, what, if we're only scoring one goal away from home all season, we're struggling to beat teams away from home, struggling to beat teams at home. At what point? At what point do you say, well, we need to start asking Clement, questions of Clement?
Would you like to give us a call? Have your say. The number is 0141 319 5230. All we require is the last 3 digits of your phone number, so we know who you are. Guys, back to yous.
Mark, I know, Mark, you always give us the kick-off times and that, but...
Is that right?
No, I was
I
going
think
to say...
I think that's what time the programme will start.
Okay.
I think the game's 7:45.
I think the
The
game's
game
8
is
o'clock.
2 at 8 o'clock, I believe. I think it is actually 8 o'clock.
I think it's
because
8
on
o'clock,
telly.
yeah.
I'll
It's 8
Google
o'clock.
it. I'll do this.
Yeah.
I think the programme starts at 7:15.
Simon's not Googling, he's just doing research. He's not Googling, it's called research. So, some
8
good
o'clock,
comments.
8 o'clock, so it starts at 15:15. I maybe even come down tomorrow night if I get a chance and do a wee pre-match or something, just depending on the time we get a chance to do it. But it's going to be, looking on the bright side, it should be a really good game of football.
It should, and you'll say this about Aberdeen all the time when they play Rangers. Aberdeen are always up for playing Rangers anyway. I think Aberdeen are probably thinking, for the first time in my maybe not living memory, because we had the days of Kachina, etc., coming up for the division and the championship, but certainly, I would say Aberdeen on paper are favourites. I don't know how we are favourites on paper. We are with the bookies, but I would say looking at the form book, you would need to say that Aberdeen are favourites.
Something that might benefit us is the fact that Aberdeen will come out and have a go. That might suit our style of play.
It might, right? And I would think about this as well. I've been thinking quite a lot this week actually. I've been deep in thought. I've been very, very reflective about a few things, but we say that and we say, well, we bring these teams come and play 10 men behind the box, difficult to break down, and we struggle against that. But then St Mirren didn't play that on Sunday. St Mirren had a go at us in the first half, we struggled against that. So it's just, I'm still confident. I will always be confident being a Rangers fan. But I just think that at the moment, I don't know if the manager and the coaching team and the players have got that collective belief in going to win.
Alex, you've asked me to read out that statement that you sent me, but it's about 20 minutes long, so I'll put it in the comments. Because I'll end up starting and everything. There's millions, it's 2 pages long. I do appreciate it, mate. Aye, so,
I mean,
the big ones tomorrow night. What's that comment there? Can
I was just going to read that for Carol, yeah. So, Carol Cowie. If Rangers turn up and give it everything we can do it, of course we can, Carol, you're absolutely right. And, I was just getting back to something Alex said 5 minutes ago, I still want Clement to do it. I want any Rangers manager to succeed. And I think the fact that we've got these financial constraints right now will give Clement to the end of the season and the next season. But right now, it's you try to be positive, and the positive is we're doing okay in Europe.
Yeah, you've kind of got to find the light somewhere, but it's hard, especially domestically. Tomorrow night, as I said before, 6 points behind both teams. Both teams are joint top, sat third in the league. But you've still got to have a little bit of hope, because if you don't have hope, what do you have? I guess.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
Alex has suggested we give it to the young lad to read. So I don't know if that's me or Lewis he's talking about.
No, 3 young lads here. 3 young lads.
Three young lads had a dream. Go to Pittodrie and win.
Don't know what that comment means there, sorry I missed it. So guys, try to think about what else we've got to talk about tonight. Is there any other subjects came up that I've missed?
No, I mean I think we need to be positive in touching the fact that we had a great result against going to call it Stoya Bucharest, but it's FCSB or something, isn't it? Yeah. Sounds like a PlayStation 5 game, to be honest. So there are positives there. If a confident Rangers, we've got Barron and Raskin. They turn up and they're combative, energetic. They've been playing well together the last couple of weeks. I think it's really, really important who he plays in number 10. I would like to see Barami playing number 10 behind probably Dessers, and then I'd like to see Cherney and McCausland or Lovelace on either side.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a while. I'd love to see Lovelace get.
That's a good point. Is Hadji back? I think yes, because
He is.
sorry for interrupting. That's a
Think
good addition as well.
I actually don't know because it was a straight red card they got against.
He's missed 2 games.
He is
He
back.
missed 2.
He is back.
Is he back? Right.
He is
okay.
back. Yeah, I don't think he was registered for the Europa League, so he couldn't play Thursday night there, and then he's just suspended for the 1 game. So he's back. Clement said in the press conference today he's back, so I would love to.
So what was the point you were making there? You forgot.
It was a very good one as well. That's the sad thing. It's a very good one.
It's not often I make good points.
Number 10. You would like to see who would you like to play number 10?
I would agree with you, Bajrami. That's his position. I need to say more. That's his position. We keep playing him on the left hand side, and don't get me wrong, he's played well and he started off all right. But see him playing in position. Hopefully he excels. If we do, obviously.
You can see a player in there. You can. I mean, if you look at Cherney, he's capable of doing good things. If you look at Bayrami, he shows some good touches. He's a couple of good games in Europe as well. So there's potential there. You know, hopefully you've got to. You know, he will start with Dessers tomorrow night, I'm sure.
Well, they gave Ignami a chance, and I didn't think he was that great, to be honest.
No.
Against St Mirren. I like him. I played a lot better, but I didn't see a great. I didn't think he looked fear. There was no fear element in him. At least Dessers done something in the game and got us a goal.
Chick Sharp saying odds on Raskin, Barron or even Yefty getting red carded in the first 60 minutes. Must be good tomorrow night. It's probably going to be a fiery combative game. So you could be spot on with that comment there, Cheek. So, but it goes without saying that we need to keep 10 players on the park. Aberdeen will be doing everything they can to wind. If Barron starts tomorrow night, which he probably will, Aberdeen will be doing absolute everything to wind him up and get him sent off. And sometimes when players go back to clubs that they've played for, they want to try and prove a point. So he needs to, hopefully calm down. Hopefully be calm and cool and collected. Raskar as well, and Yefty had obviously a fiery game against Kiev at the start of the season, but he seems to have settled down a little bit and he's kind of less rash, if you like. So it's just to down to belief.
Yeah,
we are the better. You said at the start, the top of the show side, we are the better team. We've got better players.
It might come down to fight as well. That's where I'm more worried. The same as last season. If it comes down to bottle, have we got the players for it?
If we go a goal down, do we have the bottle to come back? What I noticed with Rangers for the last season and a half, 2 seasons, when something goes whether it's a disallowed goal or anything, as soon as something goes against us, the heads drop for 10 minutes or so. Yeah. So it's very, very. We're still Rangers. We should be going up to Aberdeen, believing ourselves to win. And there's no reason. There's every reason why we can win. As I could go back to, we've got international players. We've got good players in Cherney and Barami that come into the club. They look to be clicking. I think, is it a game for Hadji? Maybe not. I don't think he'll risk playing Hadji. I don't think Clement's the kind of manager to take risks like that in big games.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm going to go back to what Simon was saying about Igamani. I think when he played on Thursday night, I thought he took his goal well, but I agree with you. He started the game on Sunday, and he never really impressed. One thing I don't like about him is the fact that he drifts out wide too much, and the fact that he drops a bit sort of deeper, and I don't like that with a striker, especially a lone striker. I think you should be up there, middle of the park, penalty box, looking for the ball. We've got a form for that with Dessers. That's what Dessers does a lot. And that's part of the reason why we don't score a lot of goals in certain games, because, as you've pointed out, our strikers are natural, and then when we get a cross in and we cut something across the box, our strikers are the ones doing it. Yeah.
And if you're a winger, you're not a natural striker, then you don't know what a striker instinctively knows what positions to take up in the box, whereas a winger, like midfielder, attacking midfielder, doesn't necessarily have that knowledge. So I reckon I'm a Rangers fan, and I'm always a confident person, whether it's Rangers or anything else in my life. So I think I believe we'll win tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think we will.
Only if we're at 100%.
Yeah. A team like Aberdeen, you've got to be at 100% because they've got the top goal scorer in their team, Pape Gay. He's the top goal scorer in the league, and Esther Sockler, who's on not too bad form as well. Both been playing up front. Yeah, you've got to be wary, especially with our defence, the way our defence played on Sunday. It's worrying, but I'm still confident that we will get a result, that we will get the right result. Anyways.
Right guys, there's Ryan on the phone. Ryan, how you doing, mate? Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear Ryan?
Ryan?
2 seconds. Check him now. Ryan,
Here he is.
hear you now. Unplugged the
Can you hear me now?
unplugged the speaker. How's things, mate?
I'm in school, how are you?
I'm just trying to figure out where are you, what country you in?
Scotland, mate.
Off, that makes a nice change.
I know. Belfast at the weekend there, by the way. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
How was
Shout out
Windsor
to the
Park?
Sandy Road Rangers. What was that?
I saw it on you seen the Sandy Row.
Aye, shout out to the Sandy Road Rangers, the hospitality Saturday night, really looked after us, it was brilliant.
Fantastic. And you went to Windsor Park?
I went to Windsor Park on Saturday, aye, it was good. So apart from the result was obviously a shocker. The goalkeeper sold the jersey for the Saturday.
Aye, I know, I seen the highlights. Yeah. Right, let's talk about the Rangers. What do you think of the finances? You've obviously seen that tonight, with a chat about it before we started.
Aye, I think it's no great, and I think there's worse to come, to be honest with you. Obviously, that's up to June 2024. I think we're still to see the fallout of the Champions League as well. Not qualify for that. The thing for the finances side, and they're doing these kind of announcements and stuff like that. I wish they would just speak bloody English with them.
I know. See, the thing is, I'm not an accountant in it, so I agree with you.
Yeah, one phrase was used, Ryan, I pointed out in the chat earlier, was injecting into ecosystems. Do you want to try and explain that for us?
What does that mean? I just dinged it when I read it.
Correct me if I'm Ryan, you might have more sense to mean this, but that effectively that just means get a sponsorship.
I think it just means, I think the ecosystem is just a posh word for the turnover, basically. The economic system of the club, basically, revenue. But Jake wee Billy sits up the back of the coat and knows what an ecosystem is.
I don't know, but I sat in the main store and I don't know. Then, what about the game? The big one tomorrow night. I'll do it.
Tomorrow night.
Talk about St Mirren if you want. It's up to yourself. We can have an hour.
Give us a quick summary. Yes, obviously we've done the rating show on Spotify, but you want to pick out a couple of highlights for that?
I think that the introduction of Tavernier from the bench towards the end of the game, I thought was actually quite a sweet spot for us. I actually thought it quite worked well.
Can you see that?
Just a kind of calming influence towards the end of the game for us, bringing on a kind of senior experienced pro. I just thought he helped calm the nerves a wee bit. He can't play proper tomorrow night. Proper had an absolute shocker.
Aye.
On Sunday. I'd be surprised if he plays him. I think what you're saying about Igamani there just before I came on about no playing inside, I think he's definitely got to play Dessers as well. And Bizrami in the middle. I don't think Tom Lawrence will be fit.
Yeah.
So
I can't really see him risk. I don't think Clement. Hopefully, you might disagree. If you do, great. If not, Brill as well. But I don't see Clement as the type of manager to take a risk by that Hadji for the game.
No. He's got to. He has to play some kind of tactical nous tomorrow. They're going to come out the traps tomorrow night, and they're going to come out all guns blazing. The crowd will be right behind them. We've got to be box clever here and really just keep them quiet for the first 25 minutes, half an hour, and hopefully our quality will start to shine through. But we need to make sure we get our foot in the ladder in the game.
Ryan, that's why I was saying earlier on about we can't be playing these stupid balls back to the goalkeeper, because a good attack will pick up on it.
Aye, yeah. I mean, you actually seen St Mirren on Sunday there. Every time Butland get the ball, they just started running towards him. You know, they were just almost kind of waiting. That was their kind of trigger. As soon as the ball went towards Butland, it was like, right, that's us, press, attack. We're almost anticipating a mistake from him.
Aye, well, that's the thing. We were the players seem to be, and yet I don't know if the manager's telling them to play the ball back. But see, Pittodrie, you're right what you're saying. They're going to come out, and it's going to be cup final for them.
I mean,
Totally.
And to be fair, you can't blame them.
It is, yeah. You're right. I mean, it is a bit of a cup. As you know, Rangers games at Pittodrie for Aberdeen are always a cup final. But given the league table and the start they've had, it's going to be, you know, even more of a cup final for them. So, where do you think, Ryan, the game's going to be won and lost tomorrow night?
I don't know, mate. It's a real tough game. I see the bookies as guys doing his favourites for it. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'd need to see the start 11 before I made a call on it, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, I'm worried about this, to be honest. I think that there's something going to come to a head with, you know, and I don't know how many lives that the Clermont Cats get left, but can't they have many?
What was your thoughts on what Gordy mentioned earlier on? Ryan, Lewis touched on it as well. Are we in a position where we can't afford to sack the manager if the shit hits the fan? And if so, then what do we do? Do we just keep him?
Exactly. I mean, it's at what point does it become unacceptable? You know, you've seen obviously with Ten Hag losing his job at Man United yesterday or the day before it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At what point do you just say, listen, this can't carry on, regardless of the money element of it? This just can't carry on like this. How crap a job do you need to be doing to get the bullet?
That's a great point, right? It's something we're trying to touch on. So a couple of comments have come in basically saying we need to give Clermont a bit of a break because of the financial constraints and because of the situation we found ourselves in. But, you know, the question for, you know, I've said this privately, but I've been a Clermont backer up until the last couple of weeks, and, you know, it's for me the tipping point came against Kilmarnock away from home. Last weekend, but what for the people that are still, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with backing the manager. I've got absolutely no issue with any Rangers fan that backs the manager and thinks he's doing a good job. But if you're on the fence, Ryan, what's your opinion when that tipping point comes? How far behind do we have to, you know, fall before we take action? If we take action,
well, I think he's got to the New Year game. To be honest with you, he's got the thing about it is his record against Celtic is absolutely terrible, right? And he can talk about beating Ross County in 6-0 and we had 4 shots on target, you know, all this crap. He's got to lay a glove on Celtic. He has to do that. And I said even the last game at Parkhead there that I wasn't expecting Rangers to win, and I didn't think we were going to be good enough to get. All I was wanting was to give them a bloody nose and just to let them know we're in the fight here. Yes, you might take this today, but we're in the fight. And truth be told, we were absolutely anonymous that day as well, and it just seems that we're very easy to beat when we want. You know, I think it's as David Herd says that winners find a way to win and losers find a way to lose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that just sums up everything that's going on at the club right now.
yeah, okay, fantastic. Are you going tomorrow night? Are you braving the elements to go up?
No, I had a ticket and I gave it away actually, to be honest with you. I gave it back to the club. Geographically for me and trying to juggle childcare and work and stuff like that, it just wasn't viable for me to go, unfortunately. It sounds actually mental. It was easier for me to go to the Malmo game away than it would be to go to Aberdeen away.
I can believe that, mate. That's incredible, isn't it? Modern football, eh?
So no, unfortunately I gave my ticket back to the club, but somebody's going to my place and they'll be shouting them on my behalf.
Yeah, great stuff.
No, good call, mate. Fantastic. Anything else you want to add to that, Lewis? You're not saying much.
I've not got much to say, to be fair. I agree with everything you're saying.
There
I
you go.
think
There you go, Ryan, eh? A rigging endorsement.
You're on fire.
we're all on the same page. That's the main thing. So
No Rangers fans.
Yeah.
hopefully we get a wee result tomorrow night. We're doing a wee guest appearance for the Rangers Journal on behalf of the channel tomorrow night. So
Good man.
anyone's looking for a post-match show, I'll be on the Rangers Journal tomorrow night on behalf of the Gers TV representing us.
Is that just after? Is that after the game? You're going on right after it?
Aye, after the game, there'll be a video call. Basically, I'll be on with the boys for the Rangers Journal and just a guest appearance, giving my wee hand out for on behalf of us.
Good luck to that. As you know, we're trying to, we'll speak about it, we're trying to date McKenna support our Rangers medias, our channels. So good luck with that, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely.
Aye. Looking forward to it, guys. All right, I'll let you go on, okay, on with the rest of the show, okay? I'll catch you later on.
Soon.
Brilliant. Fantastic call.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, take care, guys. Good night. See you later.
Thank you very much. Good
Bye-bye,
quality.
bye-bye.
No
Bye-bye.
issues. All good. Bar the fitba.
We've been that quite a lot in the last few months.
Aye.
I think, do you want to read that? Are you?
Aye, I'm going to read it now. Alex Kelly's came back with a comment. There's a wee bit of back and throw here, but I can agree with some of it. St Mirren picked up Alex Gogic, who's a great player, and Olasanya for Olasanya is his name, for less than $1 million. we need to look at the Scottish market more on recruitment, 100%. Simon Murray caused us all sorts of problems the last couple of seasons. Kevin Nisbet at Hibs is now at Aberdeen. Lawrence Shanklin, Lennon Miller. We could do with these players in our squad. Strong, robust players, not young not foreign youngsters. We've spoken about that for ages.
Yeah, I totally. I mean, Alex, I'm not agreeing with absolutely everything you've said on the comments tonight, but 100%, 110% agree with everything you wrote there. To be perfectly honest,
We've spoken about this a snobbery.
Yeah, and not only the guys you mentioned, but there's other guys as well. There's David Watson, young Scottish player at Kilmarnock. Going back a couple of seasons before, there was obviously Lewis Ferguson we didn't go for. There was Josh Dog, the left back at Hibs, we didn't go for either. They're now cutting it in Serie A of all places. And I believe maybe it was back out for a league at the time because I think he went to maybe Liverpool, but I believe that one of the Hearts right backs, young Scottish guy, went to Liverpool as well. So there's talented Scottish players.
I'm going to correct you on that one. It was Kelvin Ramsey for Aberdeen that
Was
went
it?
to Liverpool.
Right, okay.
Aaron Hickey from Hearts went to.
I
think he went to Bologna.
Serie A.
And then he
Okay,
went to Brentford.
okay, that's fine.
So that tells you, that tells you that the Italian teams are watching the Scottish market.
Yeah.
So they've not got a snobbery with it.
No, I mean Napoli have signed Billy Gilmore and Scott McTominay, two Scottish players, and they're on fire over there right now. Now, I'm not saying we could attract that calibre of player with the wages are on these days, but if we'll let go of Gilmore for a start. But there's definitely young talented players out there. The guy at Motherwell, Lennon Miller, is the perfect example. And we're probably the less we talk about Shanklin the better, because we've done that till we're blowing the face on here.
I mean, you would like to think that they're, you would like to think, or I would like to think anyway, that they're kind of, obviously poaching is no meant to happen, but it happens all the time in football, that they're sounding these boys out.
See, that's Hill Dessers. Not seen him poach anything for about 2 years.
Well, you'd like to think that these players are getting sounded out, the young kid, because everybody's saying it, and I think the board would get a bit of a break if they bought the cream of Scottish football, the young boys, but I don't think they will. I still think they'll go for this. I think the manager would prefer the foreign element.
See, yeah, you're right, and I would add we touched that. I think that if we had guys like the boy from Kilmarnock, the boys from Motherwell, Miller, and we had a Scottish striker, whether it's Shanklin, Nisbet, whoever it is, I think if we were building up that base of Scottish players, then I think we would cut the manager a bit more slack as well, because we could maybe see these guys are 18, 19 years of age, so we're giving them a bit of slack for a season, but he's not been any through players like I don't know if Alex Lowry is still injured or he's fit again, but
No, he played last week.
He's not giving Lowry a
B team
really.
He played in the B team.
He played in the B team, so he's not giving the youngsters a chance as it is really. So so Aaron Hickey and all that's I was actually talking about Aaron Hickey, but
You got the name mixed up.
You're absolutely right with Calvin Ramsey. He went to Liverpool, so. But I was particularly talking about the right back. I think he's a right back at Hearts, but yeah, he's another one as well. So
I mean, I know we've spoken about it a million times, but we can sign Shanklin on a pre-season contract. Now, Shanklin's no kicked his arse for a few months. You have to wonder, has he been tapped and been told, look, there's no deal, but if you wait to January, just don't get injured? I don't know.
I mean, if it was given the way the Rangers are at the moment, with no CEO or no chief executive, probably not, but I would like to think. Another point for Alex Kelly, Lennon Miller, or Bailey Rice. I mean, Bailey Rice is supposed to be a potential world beater, but
there's definitely Scottish talent out there, and I think, see when we see that 17 million loss, I think we don't have a choice. That's the market that we need to go in, and we need to get into it now.
Yeah, and if we're bringing in David Watson, Lennon Miller, Bailey Rice, we're playing those in Conor Barron, we're playing these guys regularly, we're playing really well for three out of every 4 games. We see the potential there, we give the manager a bit of slack, we got to give the team a bit more slack because we can see it's building, but right now we don't really see what's building at the club.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Guys, we're almost finished, enough 5 minutes to go. What's the time on that? I can't see it. 8 minutes to go. The big guy from Motherwell last season ragdolled both Suter and Balogun in the game we lost at Ibrox. I can't remember his name.
Theo Blair.
Theo Blair, yeah.
Theo Blair.
You're on fire with the name is today. Blair.
Bear.
Blair.
No,
Bear.
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 B-A-I-R.
As in Grizzly.
Aye, almost there. Pretty much.
It's not. Are you sure it's not Blair? B-L-E-I-R.
No, it's not. It's Bear.
Okay.
It's Bear.
How's it pronounced though?
It's pronounced Bear.
Well, there you go, right? The problem I've got with that comment is there's so many players I've ragged all day. I think we done it a couple of years ago as well. The boy that went to QPR, forgot his name on it.
Dykes.
Dykes. You sure it's not? No,
No, it's not going there. Still the pre-watershed and all that.
Aye. The Scottish talent's definitely out there. Alex Kelly said not Balogun, Golson. Aye, that's him. Theo Bear. We've no improved for Golson. Golson on his day was a good centre half. We were all quite happy to see him gone, but Proper's not a better player.
I think we've taken a step back, to be honest.
Well, even when you look at if you look at it wage-wise, and what we paid for Proper, then it is a step back. But
I think we paid about $2.5 million for Proper though.
it's only a lot lower wages.
Yeah.
However, I did think he was going to be the real deal because what you mentioned earlier about being captain material, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't see any fight in him.
He was a captain of FC20, I believe. He was a captain for a good few years. You know, good every single game, and then he got injured his first game for Rangers, which doesn't help. But yeah, I mean, the problem is at the back, like we are playing Tavernier and Yefty, who are two really attacking midfielder, attacking fullbacks, and we don't have that cover at the back. So if you've got players, you've got these teams that see that and they go right. That means they can bully the defenders because defenders don't know who to mark because there's only two of them.
Aye.
Sorry, Golson was on 40 grand a week, Proper's on 10 grand a week, and that's why we've downgraded the players. That shows.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, and you know you're both right there, saying Alex there. That's a couple of million overall this season that we're downgraded there, but that's what's happened in a lot of positions. To be absolutely fair, same for. Well, we didn't really play Ryan Jack a lot, didn't play Kemar Roof, but the problem is that this season just seems like it feels like this season's been on for about 9 months already. It's only been 9 games. It feels like it's been on, for forever already.
A lot could change, to be fair, but I think we're looking at the Cups this season. Unless we get the big result tomorrow night, we want to get the result. We just need to stay positive. We'll try and do some kind of shows tomorrow if anything's available.
The next week or so we've got the big game
the
tomorrow night,
the League Cup
semi-final on Sunday, and then we've got obviously a European game. We've got 2 European games coming up as well. I mean, it could be that's all in 8 days, so 9 days, sorry. So in the next 9 days we could be top 10 of the Europa League. We could be through a cup final, and we could have closed the gap at top of 3 points. So
a lot can change in a couple of weeks in football. That is a big thing. Guys, we're almost finished. Thanks to Ryan for the call tonight. People messaging from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. Thank you very much for that. Before I finish, big shout out to Gordy. He's here now. Graduated, I believe you call it.
Oh, don't
From
embarrass
uni.
me. Oh, I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to give me a hard time for being late. I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to say, give me a shout out to Gordy. He got here for 6:59, first time ever.
Gordy phoned me and he says, I've got my ball gown on. I've got my gown on, and I thought he was getting dressed up again. But no, do you want to give a wee shout out what happened?
Oh, thanks very much. So for the last, up until the summer there, I was doing a course, Open University, and I graduated in Social Science with International Politics with honours. And I'm currently going back and doing a master's degree. So graduated in my ceremony on Friday at the Royal Concert Hall in Glasgow. So thanks to everyone who's put a wee nice comment on my Facebook page and whatnot. It's very nice years.
All the qualifications, you can't pronounce the word bear.
I can't get to Gers TV on time either. didn't get to be fair, I was going to say this very, very quickly. There was an incident in Troy, I don't know who it was, but somebody at Paisley Gilmore Street had some kind of heart attack or seizure on the train when I was coming in, so I hope everyone's alright. If it doesn't matter what team he supports, you never really want to see that, so if he watches or she watches the Gers TV at any point, hope everything's alright, but that was a bit of a scare as well, so...
And just a wee shout out as well, obviously with the friends are running the big Rangers bash in Manchester, and it went live last night at 8 o'clock, I believe. That's it now, sold out. Just sold it there.
Sold out?
Aye. So if you're late, you miss out. Karen Smith, sorry what you say now, was working for the OU on Friday. Who's OU?
That's Open University. So Karen, I must have seen you on Friday. I don't know what you were doing, obviously, because you said you're working, but I thought I was in there, believe it or not, I thought I was in the wrong place, so I actually asked, I asked somebody if I was in the right place, so it might have been Karen.
That's you saying, I wish I'd known beforehand. Well, should have seen you.
Aye, so Karen, I probably spoke to you on Friday, so cool. And then a couple of comments up, somebody said, I think
I can't- Please read up.
Chick Sharp, love to debate you in that regards politics anytime, Chick. We can do a Spotify special. And go down, somebody said about looking into FPP or something. What says FPP? It might say something else.
John Fraser saying that it's no fair to pick out the individuals in at the back. We haven't had a good, reliable defence for years. Well, that's a very good point.
True, yeah.
Sadly,
I'd agree with that. But I think Sutton and Proper, they're two defenders who like to kind of wander up the park a wee bit more. Goldson was kind of a defender who would sit back, sort of cover whether it was Sutter's back or something at the time, Bassie's back, whatever, who'd like to push up a wee bit more. He'd kind of sit back and sort of cover for them. It doesn't really seem like we've got a centre half to do that. I think Barron kind of sort of sits back sometimes and plays a similar role to what Lundstrom played when he was at the club.
Yeah.
But nah, I think we need. I think it's all well and good having a defender sort of wandering up, take the ball into midfield and all that. I think that's all well and good, but we need somebody that's just going to sit right back, who's just going to be there.
Need a
Teams breaking.
Richard Goff kind of figure or just.
we need leaders. We need more than one leader. And I'm not happy with the captain or the vice captain being the goalkeeper. We've spoken about it in the past though. Everybody knows my thoughts because the new rule is the captain has to go and see the referee.
Yeah,
if there's an issue, and that just doesn't work for me.
And very quickly, we spoke about it a few weeks ago, the Man City game. Kyle Walker is captain of Man City.
He was out of
position. Liverpool scored at the Etihad. So yeah, it can potentially have an impact there. So yeah, it's interesting.
Right, guys, thank you very much. It's been a good show. For everybody watching on the YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitter and Instagram as well. Now, we weren't on the TikTok tonight, we do a wee behind the scenes now and again, but that'll be back next week. Loads happening at Gers TV, and we're going to be announcing a new sponsor very shortly. All that remains for me to say is, let you get...
I'll start off with so thanks everyone for watching, and always remember, guys, at the Gers TV and Rangers, we are
the people.